Welcome to Girl Talk. We are at the Great Dane on the east side, which is a first for everyone on this table, and I'm lucky enough to join in and maybe have some food.
You were going to pipe in, I can tell. What did you want to say?
Well, I was going to say our first as Girl Talk, but I think a couple of us have frequented this location on a personal
Okay.
I like the view, what can I say?
Yeah, and if you live on the east side, instead of trying to get downtown in a busy evening when it's traffic filled and stuff, you just head further east, and here you are, and it's, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes really from downtown. It's very, very close. So
to give a feel, we're off Cottage Grove Road, and we have windows in front of us right now. We can see the Capitol, we can see both lakes.
We might be able to see you, depending on your current location.
yeah, we're
It's
kind of
that
above
good.
the world here. No, it is a special space, and we're going to hear later from one of the events coordinators here about different things that are happening here and things that potentially could happen with some good planning.
That's going to be the last segment, and I don't know if the food is going to make it that long, so we'll have to see. We'll play it by ear. We'll let you know. We have a great show. Lots of things to chat about today, so I see a couple things on the list, and I want to make sure you girls touch on those.
I want to make sure we talk about an event coming up. It's August 11th, and it's called Walk a Mile, and it's to raise awareness and support for financial support for domestic abuse. It's a very lighthearted event where people do walk a mile in ladies' shoes, men especially. You don't have to, but you can, and they even provide the shoes for the guys, which is amazing. They get to wear tube socks with their high heels. I don't get why,
But they're just maybe not tough enough to just do it the way we do it. So, I mean, you got to get used to it. High heels are a conditioning thing. You know what I mean? It's an acquired taste and a conditioning thing. So, it's a great event though. Raises awareness, like you said. For this is the Rock County YWCA.
Exactly.
August 11th, and there's still time to sponsor. I know. So, give lovely Beverly Broyles a call out there, and she'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, they are looking for sponsors yet for that event, and I was going to say that they're great in helping women that are trying to get out of a situation and that have finally gotten out. We're going to talk more about that. We're also talking homecoming, believe it or not.
I know.
Oh my gosh. And homecoming dresses. Apparently girls are already shopping.
Yeah, that's incredible. You start earlier and earlier and earlier with these things, but don't you get excited? I remember that excitement. I always wanted to start shopping.
Yeah, it is exciting, and it's I'm raising a daughter, and so it's fun to think about her future in this, and so it's so fun to learn about the businesses in our neighborhood and in our locality that are doing things by hand, and they're ordering things for people, and
And the business we're talking about is Moments to Cherish Bridal. They're in Verona, so speaking of buying local. We're going to chat with the owner next and see what's coming up for homecoming dresses right after the break. Welcome back to Girl Talk. We've been filming today at the Great Dane East Side. This is a new one for us, so we're going to learn a little bit more about this newest, I think it's their most, their latest brew pub, so we'll learn more later. Right now we're talking homecoming. Sorry, Spider-Man fans, it's not the movie. We're talking dresses. This is Girl Talk after all. And joining us is Arlene DeFore. She's the owner of Moments to Cherish Bridals. They're out in Verona, but also has homecoming dresses. Thanks for joining us today, Arlene. So I kind of even hate bringing up homecoming because we want to enjoy summer a little longer, but it is what it is. Do you have the dresses coming in?
Yes, I have dresses coming in actually. Most of them are in already.
And I think I've heard it's a little different these days where girls are going automatically, not waiting to be asked. So they're going to be shopping for dresses no matter what, right?
Actually, we have sold 3 already.
Oh my goodness.
Really?
Yeah. Girls have been in since about the 1st of July.
My goodness, times have changed.
Yeah, to hear that though, that the ladies are just like, I want to go to a dance and I want to get dressed up, and this is my time to do it. So let's go.
Now, a lot of people are on a budget, especially since it's still summer and they're taking summer vacations, all that stuff. What do the dresses cost around about?
They range anywhere from $60 up to $150, just depending on what you're looking for.
That's very reasonable.
I noticed too, you've got the 2-piece thing. Those are popular right now.
Yeah.
Again, times have changed.
Exactly.
It's so lovely. I really love black and red and the rose pattern. It's just gorgeous. Thanks for bringing them to show off.
You
yeah.
are.
What do you call that? An A-line skirt?
Kind of an A-line.
Very cute.
And then there's tooling underneath, and that's what makes it fluffy, yeah? Okay.
And both of these 2 dresses have pockets.
Oh,
which girls are
that.
always looking for.
I know I am. Girl's got to put her lip gloss somewhere.
Well, exactly. Then you don't have to mess with stuff. You just
Right.
slip it in, and since it's nice and bouncy, it doesn't leave a.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
and I
like
can
it.
I can see it's multi-purpose, so you can use it throughout the year. So
Right.
not just for homecoming or whatever, you can use it over and over
Right.
again.
That actually speaks well to the two-piece because, if you don't want to dress it up so much with the fancy off-the-shoulder top, you just have a dress and you can dress it down if you want with flats.
Right.
And, yeah, very smart, right? So if someone was seeing these, my guess is you have something like this in stock, and correct me if I'm wrong, you do stuff that's in stock, folks can shop in your store, but then do
Right.
you also order things for them if they see something like that?
If I need to, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have like a catalog they can flip
Right. Mm-hmm.
through at the store. Okay. Are folks able to do that online as well? Or in
No.
the store only? Okay. So you
Yes.
want to come see you in order
Right.
to get this accomplished. Fabulous. Good. The good old fashioned way. I like to keep it that way.
Arlene, I'm wondering, I have heard of stores like yours, well, they'll keep track of which dresses have been sold to different schools so girls don't see their own dress on other girls. Do you do that?
Yes, I do.
Really? You keep
Yeah.
track of that?
Yeah, I keep track of it because we want all the girls to look unique.
Yeah. Everyone wants to feel like they have the one of the kind.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really nice. So now, obviously, you said you already sold some. What is the latest someone can come in and get a dress from you?
Well, they could probably come in the week before if
Really?
it fits them.
That
Yeah.
sounds like what I did. So girls out there that are last minute, go see Arlene. She'll take care of you. That's great. So now, if you want to come in and just kind of poke around and start looking or look through the catalog like we mentioned, do you need an appointment or can people just drive up and just show up?
They can come in. Saturdays, it's really important that they have an appointment.
Okay. And how far ahead do you need to have an appointment? I mean, try to make
We
next-
try to accommodate them.
over the next few
yeah.
days if
Yeah.
they can get in?
Right.
Okay. So out there, if you're looking to start planning, if you're a little bit more of a pre-planner than I am, think about making an appointment. If it's a Saturday that you could make it in, we want to make an appointment ahead of time with
Right.
Arlene.
Alrighty, homecoming dresses. At Moments to Cherish Bridals, they're out in Verona. And we're at the Great Dane East Side. More Girl Talk right after this.
Hi, and welcome back to Girl Talk. We're filming here at the Great Dane East Side location, so we'll talk with them about that a little more. We're excited to learn because this is our first time filming here, so it's quite lovely. First, I want to introduce, though, to my right, Miss Beverly Broyles. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I really am appreciative and enjoy being with all of you.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about an event that Beverly leads, I believe, and has
Yes.
created, and now is you've got quite a few years under your belt called
We
Walk a
do.
Mile in Her Shoes. So
We
please
do.
introduce us.
Thank you. Well, Walk a Mile in Her Shoes is a fundraising event for the YWCA Rock County. This is our 11th year of raising funds to help bring an end to domestic violence.
That's fantastic. I have to say, about 7 years ago, I was involved in the event, and it's quite amazing. You have
It's
a lot of
terrific.
people in it, and
We do.
oftentimes people are wearing high-heeled shoes, oftentimes
Yes.
not, but that's kind of
Yes.
part of the deal. Tell us a little bit about how it works and what that means.
Well, the event was actually, it's a national event. It was created by Frank Baird in 2001, I believe, and we are a partner in this event, and so other organizations have become involved as well. We became involved specifically to create awareness of domestic violence and to raise money to bring an end to domestic violence. So,
Oh, so much
it's a wonder,
to do.
and it's also a great way to get men involved in the effort and in the cause because it also affects men. Domestic violence is not exclusive to women. It also takes place with men.
Absolutely, and I think from what I understood when I was involved, the idea behind it is to have a feeling of what it would be like to walk in a mile in the shoes of someone who's suffered from abuse, and so you make it a positive event to recognize
Yes.
that. So it's really
Yes.
quite creative.
Yeah, it goes with the old adage of, to truly understand someone, you have to walk a mile in their shoes. So that adage now has been transformed into walking a mile in her shoes, which is to hopefully bring awareness to what it's like, to be a woman, to be involved in a domestic violence issue.
And there's many men out there that do this, and they're wearing high
They
heels.
do.
Absolutely.
They do. So it's a fun event for a very serious cause.
Good job.
Now, is there any way people can still get involved with this event? I know it's probably around the corner. but-
Absolutely. It's around the corner, but luckily for anyone that's interested in becoming a sponsor for our dinner, which is complimentary for our walkers this year, there's still time because the program hasn't been printed yet, so I can get you in there.
I like how you think.
She's got a poll, too.
Yeah, I create the program, so get your name in there.
Beverly, let's take a sec to talk about where the money goes and how it helps. For example, I know you have a 24-hour helpline, 24-hour helpline. You provide shelter nights. Talk about where the money goes to help folks.
Yes, the money goes to support our Alternatives to Violence program, and that is the program that includes the domestic violence shelter. So we have a 33-bed shelter that houses moms and children who are fleeing from their home and their abuser. It also is supporting our Transitions for Women program, which is an 11-apartment facility in Janesville that houses women that are really working toward financial empowerment, security, and independence. And so we have an 18-month program for the women.
I really like the distinction here because one is helping women that are maybe still in that situation trying to get out, and the other is women that have finally made that leap but a little scared and maybe need some help to move forward.
Exactly. We work with resume building, with interview skills. We help them find employment and maintain employment by providing transportation dollars.
Wow, that's something to be so proud of, because like you're kind of explaining, there's so many facets of the troubles that exist when you're in a domestic abuse relationship and home life, that it's not just getting away from that person or finding a solution there. It's also then for the future, building what is going to happen to you. How do you take care of yourself?
But more importantly, the big question is, do you have to wear the high heels?
We encourage it, and we have about 100 pair that we provide for the men, but no, they do not have to.
That's
you do not have to wear high heels.
We're quickly running out of time. I want to find out exactly the date and the time and the place. Please let us know
Okay,
for
the
our
date
viewers.
is August 11th, which is a week from tomorrow. It is at the Pontiac Convention Center in downtown Janesville on Pontiac Avenue. Our website is www.ywcawalkamile.org, and they can register and become a sponsor.
Fantastic. We'll do all of those things. Listen to Miss Beverly. She knows exactly what she's talking about. Thank you, and stay tuned for more Girl Talk after the break. Hi, and welcome back to Girl Talk. We're having such a good time. We're here at the Great Dane East Side, which is a new place for us to be here for Girl Talk. I've been here before. It's a lovely place. There's tons going on. I want to introduce Tara Lobriglio. Did I do well with the last name?
You did.
All
Very
right.
good.
All right. Tara, thank you for being with us today and having us here. You're hosting us, and we appreciate it very much. There's so much to talk about this location, what you offer, and all the lovely food in front of us and how people could get their hands on that. So. The Great Dane as an institution is very iconic in Madison, started downtown and has kind of spread its wings in different neighborhoods. This is our first time being here. Maybe people don't know much about what's happening here. Tell us about the history and what people can expect.
Sure. I do hear that a lot. I like to hear that. We're kind of like a little hidden gem over here on the east side. So we opened here in November of 2010. And there had been a couple other restaurants in this location, but people from the neighborhood actually really petitioned the Great Dane and said, we'd love to have our own little Great Dane on this side of town. So that was really exciting, and people were so thrilled when we came over here.
Wow, that speaks to the neighborhood. I didn't realize they sought you out. That is very cool.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly, exactly.
I already have noticed some things that are unique about this one versus the others, but you tell me what I might not be seeing.
Sure. Like I said, this is kind of a neighborhood Great Dane. Physically, we're a little bit smaller than the other Great Danes, so it makes it feel a little bit more intimate already here. There is no space for us to actually have a working brewery at this location, so we do get our beers brought in from the other Great Danes, so we always have 10 Great Dane beers on tap. So we have all of the other features that the Great Danes have. But it's just kind of a smaller, more intimate environment. We also have this really great view. This is the only place in Madison that I understand that you can see the Capitol and both lakes at the same time.
Oh.
So a lot of people like to come here to see fireworks and, just enjoy the view. People will come across town just to be able to show it off to people from out of town too.
I was going to say that's my favorite thing about this Great Dane, and I've often come to specifically eat upstairs, so you can have that view, and there's lots of space that you can overlook the lakes and the Capitol. But you've been associated with the Great Dane for a long time, so you have, I'm sure, lots of favorite stories about the company and sort of the history and things. But what's your favorite thing about this location? Can you pick one?
It is hard to narrow down, but one of my favorite things about this location is, like I said, the building itself is a little bit smaller, so it already feels a little bit more intimate. But because we're a little bit off the beaten path as well, you really see the neighborhood come alive here. We've sort of come a sort of gathering place for the people in this neighborhood as it grows. So it's really nice to come here and see people all waving at each other and stopping at each other's tables to say hello, and the kids running around and seeing their friends. The regulars at this location are generally people that live in this neighborhood, and then the neighborhood are our regulars too. So I really like the kind of community feel that this particular location has.
The neighborhood cheers.
I was
Everyone
just-
knows
yeah,
your name.
I was going to ask, is anyone else thinking cheers? I sure am.
And I mean, there's a little bit of a loss of the neighborhood diner or pub or things that like used to be more common, and so it's nice that this is recreating that, and not only for folks to just come in kind of on their own in small groups, but from what I understand, and I just have to now, I can't ignore this any longer, we have all these beautiful platters of food in front of us, which I believe is an offering for larger parties and things. Can you tell us a little bit about some details there?
Sure. That is another unique thing that we have at the east side. So we have a designated large party room that when we took over this building, it was office space.
Oh, okay.
And so we were able to build it with larger parties in mind. So we have a lot of good options for corporate events and meetings, and I do a lot of rehearsal dinners on this side of town. And the room itself is very flexible, so it has a dividing wall, so you can open it up and seat up to 85, 90 people for a sit-down dinner. And so space-wise, that's something that the other Great Danes don't have the space to do.
That is really interesting. First, you surprised me when you said that it's actually smaller than the others, because when I walked in, I was like, this thing's bigger than I thought. And it's interesting that you're the smaller one, and yet you're able to host these bigger events.
Yes, it was a demand that people kept asking for, and in other locations we didn't necessarily. We do have private parties in all of the other locations as well, but size-wise we were really able to think about larger corporate events. We integrated an AV system and a projector so that people don't have to bring in that equipment. And then we also offer specialty items that are more conducive to larger parties. So platters, we update our large party menus all the time so that the plated dinner offerings are in keeping with our regular dining experience.
And in this case, it's more like the finger food kind of thing?
Yes, we do offer quite a few appetizer platters for larger groups, as well as the sit-down plated meals.
Larger groups are just for hungry girl talk
Yes.
hosts, whichever.
This is totally suitable for us. This is perfect. This is breakfast. I like that there is an availability for, changing the space to large parties, or like you said, putting in a wall. Then there's also a very small space that I had the thrill to be involved with a children's birthday party there. So just so you know, families out there that have littles, you can come. Princess Belle was here, and it was a very big deal. The AV system was used, and they played Beauty and the Beast up on the projector, and the little girls were thrilled. So,
I really love that part about my job, because often I will see the same people from their engagement dinner to their bridal shower to their rehearsal dinner for their wedding, and then they'll bring their kids here to celebrate special events too. So that's one of my favorite things about this job in particular.
We should say Tara, excuse me, is the events coordinator. There you go. We only just have a little bit of time left. Is there a special event you want to give a plug to?
I would say just keep a good eye on our Facebook website. We do kid discos in the wintertime. We do a lot of things that are very neighborhood friendly, kid friendly. We have great patios for seating during the summertime. So there's a lot of fun things going on at the Eastside location.
I don't know a kid that wouldn't love a good kid disco.
It's a lot of fun. I've been to it before. It's a great time in the winter. So many things to do here at the Great Dane Eastside. Terrace, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Come here, give them a call, plan big parties, small parties, everything in between.
Don't forget to invite your Girl Talk hosts.
Oh, that's right. That's required, actually. And come and enjoy their wonderful food, anything from snack food to plated dinners at any event that you need here at the Great Dane Eastside. Thank you so much for joining us for Girl Talk, and don't forget to join us next time here on Girl Talk on Wisconsin's 57 Television.